Raise your hand if you've ever sacrificed physical, mental, and/or emotional health to overwork yourself into an extremely depressive state of mind that takes days to recover from in hopes to be happy with a result, knowing it's probably not gonna be worth it in the end. I was the first to fall over with the wall handstands. I couldn't do a single pull-up. Still can't. I didn't know why people kept yelling, "Stick it at me." Yeah, stick it to the man. I was so wimpy and bad, I was the kid the coaches had to pull aside during practice and be worked on one-on-one. While everyone else was having fun in the foam pit, I was taken off to the side to work on not being a failure. Jaiden, lean back. I'm spotting you. We're gonna do a back bend. No, I can't do it! Just lean back. My arm is right here. Never! I have no reason to trust you! Stick it to the man. I didn't spit in anyone's face. There's this golf course a block or two down from my house that had a little lake, and my dad and I would ride our bikes to it every once in a while to feed the ducks. Also, yes, I know ducks shouldn't eat bread. If you didn't know that, don't feed wild ducks bread. Give them candy bars. We were feeding the ducks, minding our own business, when all of a sudden we hear from across the lake, "Mabel! Mabel!" There was a neighborhood of houses next to the golf course so people could look out and see the golfers, and in the distance across the lake, some lady was yelling, "Mabel! Mabel!" Wonder where Mabel is. "Mabel, get over here! What are you doing?" Oh, she's talking to me. "Mabel, you're in so much trouble!" My dad and I didn't know what to do. This lady in the distance thought I was Mabel when I was not Mabel. I am Jaiden, but she didn't know that. "Mabel, what are you doing? Get back here!" We pedaled away. So my parents were having a bunch of their friends over who also had kids for a pool party. There were a handful of pool toys like blow-up dolphins and beach balls, but we also had this floating foam mat. I was doofing off doing my own thing, and at one point when I was underwater, the mat drifted over top of me. When I had to go up for air, I hit the bottom of the mat, and I was like, uh-oh. Time for advanced critical problem solving. So if this mat is over top of me, I can't get up to the surface to breathe. So what do? I got it. I'll simply become a child Hercules and lift 3 6-year-olds from underwater into the air with my twig arms. Rather than using one of my 4 brain cells and swimming 2 feet to the side away from the mat, I decided to try and just bench press my way to survival. One of the adults realized I was being an idiot and also dying, and instead of being like, well, survival of the fittest, he dove in and saved me. So I didn't end up drowning of stupidity. Thank you, Mr. Chad. Out smiling and talking and making cheesy eating pizza jokes. Alright, now hold that squat. Ooh, feel that burn in those quads. I'm smiling and articulating everything perfectly, and I totally know you're panting like a dying animal over there. Don't think about that leftover pizza in the fridge. Looking at you, Brittany. If a friend came up to you and said, "Hey, I'm gonna go run 50 miles and refuse to eat, sleep, or take care of myself until I'm done," you'd be like, "No, you doof. That's a horrible idea. You need sunscreen first." For my birthday one year, my parents got me Heelys. Do you remember those? The shoes with the wheel in them? I didn't specifically ask for them, but after a few months, I decided to start trying them out. I'd roll around in the house up and down the halls, and it was pretty fun. Then one time, I decided to take them out on the streets. Our neighborhood was on a slant, so there was a bit of a steep angle to the cul-de-sac, and I was like, this is a good idea. Foreshadowing, it very wasn't. I started going down the road and picking up speed, and like 2/3 of the way down, the tiniest little pebble was like, "Hey there, friend," and clogged the wheel and threw me forward. I hit my head on the road and opened a huge gash in my chin. My mom was outside talking to our neighbor, so she saw the whole thing and was like, "Okay, well, I'll talk to you later, Wendy. We're gonna waltz on over to the hospital now." I ended up not liking soccer after a while because everyone was getting more and more intense about it. "Freaking destroy them, Amelia! Kick their shins! Yellow cards are just warnings!" How about we just have fun, guys? I couldn't keep up with the burning hunger for victory everyone else started developing, and I started getting really scared. Whenever there was a one-on-one charge to the ball, I would run at full speed to look like I was dedicated and wanted to win. But at the last second, I just run past him because I didn't want to get plowed or kicked in the face. And then I kept running and ran all the way home. My adrenaline was still pumping super hard, so I didn't feel a thing, and I was like, no, Mom, I'm fine. It's not that bad. I'm okay. But she was like, no, we're going to the hospital. I had to hold a towel over my chin to keep from bleeding all over the car. She didn't let me see the damage at the time, but I asked her about it a bit ago, and she said she didn't want me to see the cut because even she was freaked out about it. This description isn't for the squeamish, but she described it as like another mouth I gashed out of my head. Hey friend, sorry about all this. Okay, yeah, it's probably for the best you didn't let me see that. So I went to the hospital and ended up getting 3 stitches in my chin. When I was waiting for the doctor, a doctor from another room walked in to get some water and was like, what are you in for? She hit her chin on the road. Oh, yeah, I've been there before. And he showed us a scar in his chin. And then another doctor overheard from the other room and was like, yep, same story. And he had a scar on his chin. So that was a nice human bonding experience.